Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah, amma ba'd. Inshallah, we would like to give this presentation for those people who are blessed to be part of the Duyuf al-Rahman, the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to Mecca and also visiting the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam in Medina. So this year, even though there's a lot of restrictions and difficulties, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed some people around the world, but specifically in our community also, to go and perform the Hajj. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them to go and perform their Hajj and come back to their families safe. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the Hajj to be among the Hajj that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, Hajjan mabruran. As he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, al-Hajjul mabrur, an accepted Hajj, laysa lahu jaza illa al-Jannah. There is no reward for it except the person will go to Jannah. So Hajj is the fastest way to put the person in Jannah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make that Hajj Jannah for them. So Hajj needs a lot of preparation. So based on that, we would like to at least give a brief presentation for those people who are going, so they can have the idea, they can have the knowledge, because it's not recommended when you go to the Hajj to learn from your fellow Hujjaj, because everybody comes with their own understanding, or everybody comes and think that they understand, but it's hard to verify what they know. It's hard to know exactly if what they know is correct or is not correct. You know, my experience, I saw a lot of things that people believe that were correct, but then it wasn't correct. And if you fall into following them because their group is big, you may end up like making mistakes. So that's the reason why it's very important for you to learn the basics things before you go. So you know exactly when you see it, at least you have their prior knowledge about it. So you go to determine if this is right or if this is wrong. So based on that, inshallah, we'll go step by step. So this is Hajj, and you won't see this crowd. Yes, you will not see this crowd. I think I haven't seen this crowd for a while now, but alhamdulillah, it's all blessings. So it used to be full, but it's going to be more enjoyable, inshallah, for you. I think the only thing you will miss, which is the big deal, is touching the Kaaba. Yes, but it's not a big deal. You know, as long as that's a sunnah, as long as you go around the Kaaba, you got it all, alhamdulillah. Even among the Sahaba, there were people who did not have the chance even to touch it, but they went around it. So it's all good. So inshallah, next. You should have asked me already. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's going to be unlocked. So you're just going to play it. So the preparation first, like the physical preparation that you need before going to Hajj. You know, if you go to the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-Hajj ashhurum ma'lumat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Hajj is few months. But if you look at it, it's just few days. But Allah is referring to the preparation the person should have. If you want to test your patience, you have to really work on at least a month or two. Because if you just start doing it right now, it's very easy to lose it. And anything that makes the person lose their patience, is in the Hajj. Like anything that would annoy the person is within that crowd. Anything that can make a person to be upset is within that crowd. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, then you have to prepare. You have to prepare. So then, and also everybody should know that the Hajj is limited to Mecca. The Hajj, all the actions of the Hajj are just limited to Mecca. So nobody feels bad, for example, if they don't go to Medina or if they don't go to certain places. So Hajj is only in Mecca. Anything else is extra. So inshallah, first a person should try their best to know exactly the time frame of the Hajj. So we know that the Hajj itself starts with 8th of the Hijjah until 13th of the Hijjah. We'll explain that inshallah. But also how the Hajj started. What is the concept of this Hajj? That this Hajj started with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, or the Hajj started with prophets before him. Of course, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam is the one who started the Hajj, and he's the one who built the Kaaba, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrated in the Quran. Now, so first, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wants every Muslim who's going to know that they are not going to perform the Hajj for themselves or for their families or for their communities. They are going to perform the Hajj for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then they should renew their intention. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said in a hadith that was narrated by Umar radiallahu anh, he said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. All the actions are upon the person's intention. If your intention is corrupted, the action cannot be correct. But if the intention is correct and the action is corrupted, even by mistake or something happened to it, you still have some reward from that action. But if the intention is not correct, the action cannot be correct. Then what drives the action is the intention. Then the Hajj had a pre-intention, so you'll have like maybe 3 times where you need to confirm your intention. Right now, you have the intention to go to the Hajj. Before you go or on your way to Mecca, you renew your intention right now. When you go to the Miqat, also we'll talk about it. That's exactly where you renew your intention and also announce it, which will also make sure we talk about that ownership. So first, you renew your intention. Second, inshallah, make sure that you ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because going to the Hajj is actually going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. So if you have that forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there's no verification. You're already good. So you go to the Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already forgiven your sins. So try your best to make sure that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive your major sins and also your minor sins. The reason why we're saying this is because everybody has sins. And when you go to the Hajj, you go with sins. But you ask Allah to forgive your sins. That's the reason why when you come back without no sin. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, Man hajja al-bayta walam yarfuth walam yafsu raja'a ka yawmi waladatu ummu. If a person goes to the Hajj, did not argue, did not fight, they behave well, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, they will come out of the Hajj just like the day that they were born from their mother. Like no sins. So, but it's conditional if a person did not argue, which will be a challenge. Like you will argue, especially, your best friend in the Hajj, wife and a husband will argue. And a husband will go here, wife will go here, because the sheikh will say this and then the person who said this will argue. So, and this is going to be more challenging because you're going to be in a group that you don't even know each other maybe. So we have a big sign saying that sabr, be patient. We're gonna have it in red. And I will keep repeating that because you will sit in Mecca and get upset, but I want to remember that I have told you many times, be patient. And I have told you many times, be patient. And I hope that it will help you to calm down and say, you know what, I'm just gonna be patient. I am getting upset, I'm losing it, but I'm just gonna be patient because it's gonna happen, inshallah ta'ala. Now, go ahead. So now it's a lot of things that involve here. Before you go, you are within a community, you are within a family, you are within friends, you are within co-workers maybe, you are within people that you see from time to time. And a human being has weakness when it comes to dealing with the people. So you may offend other people knowingly or unknowingly. So it's recommended for a person before they go to Hajj, specifically the family members, you try to reach out to them and make sure you ask them to forgive you. Your friends, your family members, ask them to forgive you. And this is practice in Muslim countries heavily. You know, you will see a person who is going to perform the Hajj will be traveling from a place to the family members, asking them to forgive, asking them to forgive him, because it's a chance for them to forgive you. You know, and also because right now is a time that if somebody comes in and say, I'm going to perform the Hajj, please forgive me. Whatever happens, they might forgive. And also it brings, you know, humility to the person who's asking forgiveness, even though they might be proud before that, but now they're in a position of humbling themselves, so they will be able to ask the forgiveness. So, and that is very important because Allah, Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will see the deeds of the people every Monday and Thursday. But if two people are not in good terms, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, okay, I will forgive everybody, but these two, let them, you know, reconcile. And if they do, I'll forgive them. But as for now, put them on hold. So if you're going to perform the Hajj, you don't want that hold, because you want to come back from the Hajj with zero sin. So then don't let that to hold you back, inshallah ta'ala. So go, call, and make sure that you ask forgiveness, even if you have to do it in a masjid, even if you have to organize, you know, a party at home and tell them, hey, I'm going to perform the Hajj in a WhatsApp group. Hey, I'm going to perform that. It's not showing off. You are taking advantage of the momentum. Make sure that you have been forgiven, inshallah ta'ala. Now, so you're going to perform the Hajj that will be explained, inshallah, pay off your debt. So this one, the first part is if a person is having loans that they're able to pay off, and the person that they get the loan from, or the person that, yes, that person is in need of it, and they want that to happen right now, they just don't have any means, but they want it, then you have to pay that off before you go for the Hajj. But let's say you have all your debts, all your loans arranged, and you're going to Makkah without delay anything, then that doesn't count. Like specifically, you have a car loan, for example, or a mortgage, for example, like you pay. So if you're going for Hajj, if your trip to Makkah will delay your payment, then that is a question. But if you're going to Makkah and that doesn't affect any of your payments, that has no problems. Because the Prophet ﷺ, as you know, when he was going to the Hajj, his dirham was also given to the Yahudi, so he can, but at that time, there was no rush. There was agreement. So then if you have a loan that you agreed paying it over the time, that doesn't affect your Hajj. So you can go and continue to do your Hajj. The second part, people don't do it, but I would recommend, actually not just recommend, but everybody should do it before you perform the Hajj. And this is practiced in many Muslim countries. Before they go, they have a process of preparing their will, because the chance of not coming back is there and it's high. So you're going there, you want to make sure that you have everything written. And when you come back, alhamdulillah. But if you don't come back, you know, at least, you know, you clarified everything. The second part, the second benefit of the second part, preparing your will, is that you are completely preparing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So nothing is holding you back. So you're completely preparing to meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever happened, you're happy with it. So that's the reason why you prepare your will and say, if something happened to me, this is exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. And that is a sunnah that people, you know, often forget. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he encouraged the people to prepare their will. And Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, I have never gone to sleep except I have my will under my pillow. So that's very important for the person to prepare a will. We all know will, you know, what you have, you know, what you want to do about it, you know, all those things, just put it in writing. put it in writing and make sure that at least you give it to a trusted person. You can give it to a lawyer, to a family member, you can give it to anyone that inshallah will help you. You will help, inshallah, if anything happened to you, the process after you will be smooth and also easy. So then prepare yourself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. What is emotionally means? Emotionally means don't get upset, don't get angry, don't let the anger to control you. Any other emotion is good. You cry in the Hajj, of course, it's good. So that is encouraged. You feel like you're emotionally like touched because of you saw the Kaaba. You're in Medina, for example. That is good. But emotionally here is don't let a situation to make you upset. And I will try to bring those things. You're gonna go to your room. You're gonna have 4 people most likely in your room, and you might be tested with somebody who just wants to talk about politics, and they criticize about everything they see, everything that they see. Oh, the kingdom is bad. Oh, the king is bad. How about the prince is bad? How about what they're doing here? And you might be tried with a person like that. That may shake your emotions. Don't let that happen. Make sure that you do not entertain those things. We have seen it. Okay, the bus is late. Oh, it's the king. Okay, it's crowded. I lost my shoes. Or it's the prince's fault. Oh, I didn't have water. It's the prince's fault. You see? Oh, but Mina isn't organized. It's the prince's fault, and everything is his fault. We're not there to blame people. We are there to perform our Hajj. So emotionally, make sure that you do not let people to drag you to those things. And unfortunately, even within the groups that we used to have, you will see that. But I always remind people strictly. That's the reason why reminding a person, you will see yourself going to it, then you remember, oh, this is not good. So you back off from it. So mentally and spiritually, make sure that mentally you know exactly what has to be done in each place. What has to be done in each place. Don't rely on people. Don't rely on the sheikh. Don't rely on anybody. Make sure you know it. The sheikh is just like a support. The group is like a support. The partner is like a support. But make sure, because you can get lost. You can be separated from them. So make sure that you know, if you go to the Kaaba, you have to do Tawaf. If you go to Jamarat, you have to do your Jamarat. If you go to Safa and Marwa, you have to start with Safa to go to Marwa. So you know those things, And also spiritually, when a person goes to the Hajj, spiritually, they want to make sure the Iman is increased. They work on, elevating or raising the Iman. How the Iman is being raised, Hajj or not Hajj, is to do more good deeds. Because we know that Iman goes up and down. What brings it up, what takes it up is good deeds. Like, for example, you were praying Dhuhr and or you're praying Fajr on time and you never prayed, for example, Shuruq. Shuruq is like when sunrise. You never prayed the, for example, in your life. Try when you go to the Hajj, you lift your spiritual, status, for example. You try to make sure that you pray Fajr, you wait till sunrise, time is Shuruq, and then you pray. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, if a person prays Fajr and sit down, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala till sunrise, and they pray Shuruq time, they pray 2 rak'ah, they have the reward of performing a full Umrah, complete Umrah. So maybe your work didn't give you that chance to do that, or your sleep time and all those things. So you go to the Hajj, your focus is ibadah. So you try to make sure that you increase those things, not just Assalamu alaikum Imam, you take your sajjad and you go to sleep again. At least you try to challenge yourself spiritually to make sure that at least you increase it. It's going to be a challenge in the first 2-3 days. But let's say, for example, you go to Medina. Medina is very relaxing. You can pray in the masjid Fajr time. You wait till Shuruq comes. This is an example. Shuruq comes, you pray 2 rak'ah, and then you go home, and then you can relax. So that's very important, inshallah. Make sure that you get ready spiritually and emotionally, inshallah. These are just maybe tips that will help you medical preparation, and then we can just go through these things like quickly, maybe all these things. But like, for example, the last one, bring Vaselines, and that will help you, especially if you have dry skin. you will need to do that, because you will not have anything that has perfume in it, in a sense that will break or that will violate the rules of your ihram. But Vaseline, of course, that's very easy. So you can use it. So you can focus on those things, bringing them and making sure that they help you. It's like supporting things now. And also the same thing. If you can bring like unscented like body wipes and these things, you may not need it. But sometimes you may need it because people are different. But if you see that if you are using it here, it's part of your life, then I think it's very important for you to take it. I would recommend like the Ziploc bags. It helps a lot. You don't have to have a big like bag. So if you have those small bags, and minimize things that you take, minimize them, because the smaller things you take, the easier things become with you. But if it is big bags, just like for example, you want to go to Mina, all you need is all the things that you need to fit in a backpack. If you take a big bag in Mina, you only have one mattress. Where are you going to put your bag? So if it is a backpack, just put it behind you. But we go to Mina, I tell them, no, you don't. I have a person. I need a big bag because I need all those things. So when you go, where are you going to put your bag? Oh, Sheikh, where should I put my bag? We should put my luggage. I told you, you shouldn't bring it. So I had to find a way to put it somewhere. You put it here. Somebody said, you cannot put it here. So you end up putting it on, on your feet. So it's very difficult. So take some things that will not give you a hard time.
Just on the Sheikh, on that hand sanitizer, nothing with scent.
Nothing with scent. Yes.
Was that the question?
Yeah, except if you need it after you complete your Umrah or your Hajj. Yes. But within the Haram, it's a problem. And we will come to the Haram. We'll come to those Haram. But this is just a preparation. Now, yeah, also there's like tips that will help you. Yeah, these are things that might help. I don't do them, I don't take them. I try to do minimum. But when it comes to like socks, I think the sisters, I think is very important, because sometimes, men, when you have your ihram, you cannot wear socks. Yeah, but when you finish your umrah, I think you will need to wear maybe socks from time to time. But in times of the Hajj and time of the umrah, it's hard to, you cannot do that. Now, so this is keep your ihram in your carry-on bag. If you have yoga mat, and I don't think so. It used to be but nowadays you will have all these things ready for you. It's 1 million people, so you don't have to worry about those things. Yeah, bring shoes and all those things. Yes, yes, this is very important. Make a copy of your passport, because nowadays the reason why is because you will have your passport with you, and this shouldn't be a problem. But people, you give your passport, they can lose it and they don't care. So if they lose it, how can you prove? Nowadays, alhamdulillah, you have your phone, you have everything is there. But even though if you can lose, just make sure you have extra backup. Copy it and give it to your wife, give it to your friend. Make sure if something happens, you can call them. So all this just, yes. Go back.
So I think another thing is if you have a card, passport card, I when I travel international, I keep that too. So
Yes.
if I lose the passport, at least I can go to the embassy with my card.
Yes.
And
We
it
have
works.
seen.
It works.
Yes, we have seen people who lost their passports from their Mutawif and didn't have any copy. So it makes it very, very, very difficult to get a passport. Even to get a room, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So especially if we are moving from Medina to Makkah, so it's really difficult. So because the card that they give to you and the passport. So if you lose it, it's very difficult. So, but it's not very common, inshallah. So yes, the reason why we did this is the most important thing in the Hajj. And it starts with, no, go back there. We have to spend time there. So this is very important because this is going to be needed with you all the time. From here, from Chicago, for example. That's it. You know, for those who are going to Jordan or Turkey or Medina or Makkah or Jeddah, nothing is comfortable. So the food might come cold, you don't like it. Be patient, you know, and somebody may sit next to you, don't like him, be patient. And somebody may be just talking and talking, you don't like them, just be patient. You land at the airport, it takes forever. The immigration in Chicago, they are very quick, for example, fast. You go to Jeddah or to Medina, it might take you hours. That's the first time that you will need this. You are tired, like how many hours? You're really tired. All you want is just to see the Kaaba, go to your hotel. And you're sitting there having your backpack, and it's very difficult. And then people start talking, why they're not working? They're so lazy, they're talking to each other. And then you come to the line, the immigration officer was there and helping people, and suddenly he went to the other booth and then talking to another person, and you're standing there waiting. You just want to curse, you just want to say something bad, and then
They both left.
yes, or they're both just talking.
They talk and they left.
And you're just standing there. So be patient. You don't have a control of things. So just be, this help you. Just remember, anything happen, be patient. You go to the bus, and I will talk about the bad things also. You go to the bus is driving you from Jeddah, if you're from Jeddah or from Medina to Makkah, that bus driver should be the best bus driver, right? And they take a cigarette and start smoking. And they will smoke inside. In America, they don't smoke inside, right? They will smoke here, and then they will pretend that they're putting the smoke outside, right? Just be patient. If you can fix it with respect, you know, but be patient, because that will not stop them, especially if they are, yes, it happens to us, almost every bus driver. Every bus driver will try to smoke, especially from Medina to Makkah. I don't want you to be disappointed, because the bus driver is not the one who the reason for you to go there. You went there for Allah. That's it. So that should not, you know, make you be disappointed. You're going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are people like you. They're there for work. They came with their habits, and you cannot change them. You cannot stop them. Just move on with your life. Don't let their life to impact your life. Then you go to the hotel in Makkah or in Medina. It's supposed to take like 10, 15 minutes for you to get the keys. It takes you hours to get your keys to go in. And you are tired, you're frustrated. People are moving around, eating, and then going to the Kaaba and coming. You can even go to the Kaaba and pray, because you cannot get your keys, go and put your luggage, and it's very difficult. I hope you don't have that, but it's very common. It's very, very common. So be patient, inshallah. In your room, you have 4 people, 2, 3 people, most likely 4, and you have somebody who is just snoring a lot. Just be patient. You will not live with them forever. Just be patient and try to spend more time in the haram if you cannot. It's very annoying because you have no way out of it. So you have to be patient. If you don't use this, all these stations, you lose your patience, you get upset, and that is not helping you. Now you can move.
Can you wake them up?
And then you go to sleep.
I'll just say be patient.
Respectfully.
Be patient. So this is Medina. Medina will be, you will enjoy Medina regardless. You will all enjoy Medina. I don't know if you're gonna enjoy your hotel or your room, but you will enjoy the Haram al-Madani. You'll enjoy praying in the Haram. You'll enjoy everything, inshallah, that is connected to this masjid. And you will try to also make a ziyarah to the grave of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So if you look at this, you know, that area, this is where the grave, and I will explain that, where the qabr of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is. And it's recommended if somebody goes to Medina, they try to visit the grave of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is not buried in the masjid. Everybody have to know that. It's not buried in the masjid. When they built the masjid, they built his house. His house is next to the masjid. So when he died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in Aisha's room, he was buried, no doubt, in Aisha's room. So then there was this is a house, this is his house, and this is a masjid. So that was the case. So he was buried, and then when he died in Aisha's house, room, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, I heard the Prophet saying, a prophet should not be moved from the place that they died. They should be buried there. So there's a hadith that only Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu narrated that hadith, because he's the only one who heard that hadith from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So he was buried in that room. And all these things happened after the Sahaba, the Malik bin Marwan, he came on and he saw a need for expanding the Kaaba, the masjid, and they went all the way. They didn't have any other place but to cover the houses of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So that's the reason. So, but in our mind, the grave of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is not part of the masjid, but now it's covered, and that was not a decision that the Prophet did or the Sahaba radiallahu anhum did. So it's recommended to go there to visit the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and next to him is his friend Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and next to him is Umar radiallahu anhu, and they are not in the same line, but the Prophet alayhi salatu is here, and step lower you have Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and the rest step lower you have Umar radiallahu anhu. So I don't like this, but they're like this. Now, so, and when you go, you say Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, and Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Bakr, Assalamu alaikum Umar radiallahu anhu. And some of them, they say Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum Khalifatu Rasulillah, Assalamu alaikum Khalifatu Rasulillah. But all is the same. Just make sure that you give salam to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and also you send your prayers to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Now, in Medina. So before in Medina, go back to Medina. So in Medina, if you will have the chance to visit places in Medina. But as I said in the beginning, Medina is not part of the Hajj. If Medina was part of the Hajj, the Prophet will leave Medina and go to Makkah. But he left Medina completely and went to Makkah. And he did his Hajj, then he came back to Medina. For us, the reason why we go to Medina, because we want to visit Medina, we want to visit the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So that's not part of the Hajj. Yes. So, but when you go to Medina, it's a chance for the person to go and visit places in Medina just for knowledge. And also some of them can be spiritual, such as going to Uhud and making dua for the shuhada of Uhud. But we have to be very careful when you go to Uhud or to those places. People go to Uhud, I have seen it. People did it and I didn't like it. In some of my groups, I didn't like it. People will go there and try to take some sand or some rocks from their mountain of Uhud and put in their bags. That is not good. That is not good. That is not what the Prophet ﷺ did. He used to go and visit Uhud, and he would make a dua. He'll make a dua for the shuhada of Uhud, and the leader of the shuhada of Uhud is Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib radiallahu anhu. But then you go to Uhud. Uhud should increase your iman. If you see how hard it is and how big is the mountain, and you see where the Sahaba, like 70 Sahaba laying, dead, defending the Prophet ﷺ and the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's a place that, the kuffar, injured the Prophet ﷺ, and there's a place that they kill his uncle. There's a place he cried, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they killed his uncle. So going there and remembering that, should make you be grateful that you are here today just to remember what happened. You are not there even to fight, but you are here to remember, and all of it is past and just glory, after all these things. So that should make you appreciate the Prophet and the Sahaba, and that should also motivate you to do more and more about your deen. So that is Uhud, and then you will get the chance to visit Masjid al-Qiblatain. Masjid al-Qiblatain is the masjid where you'll find two qibla. Is where the Prophet ﷺ in the town called Bani Sulaim is where he was praying, and then Jibril came to him and said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said for you to turn, and face the qibla, the Kaaba. So he just, after two raka'ah to Masjid al-Aqsa, 2 raka'ah to the Kaaba. So that masjid become Masjid al-Qiblatain. And then you'll have the chance to visit Masjid al-Quba, the first masjid when the Prophet ﷺ was making hijrah. He built a small masjid there and it become a bigger masjid now. And don't forget to buy ajwa, because they have the best ajwa in Quba. They have the best ajwa. But if you go there, people who sell it, they will tell you, okay, it's good. Tell them I want the one under the boxes. Yes, yes. When the last time when I was there with the brothers. I told them the one under the box. They said, okay, come in, and they would show you the one that is fresh under the box. So you need that one to buy that one. So that masjid is the Prophet every Saturday he will walk from his masjid to Masjid Quba. So if you pray here in the Masjid of Prophet ﷺ, you go to Quba, you pray to Rak'ah, you come back, it's as if you have a Umrah also. Yes, he used to do that Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Every Saturday he will walk and then go and pray there and come back.
How far is
I think it's about maybe 11 miles, I think.
Mm.
Or even, yeah. It's not, so every Saturday he will walk, go and come back, pray the
We
two
took the
rak'ahs.
bus and we were on the ziyarah
The
too.
bus or taxi, and take a taxi. It's very easy. You'll find like, I don't know, now you'll find 10 riyal to Quba. They will just next to the haram, 10 riyal to Quba, they'll take you there.
all these places are closed, can you do it in one day? Or visit all these
Yes.
places?
If you normally the Hajj group should make what they call mazara, ziyara, and that will be one day. Except if you want extra. One day the bus will come and they will have turns, and the bus will go to Uhud, will go to, there's a masjid that I used to like people to go see it, which is they call Masjid Salman al-Farisi, which is the masjid that the tunnel that they dig. That's Masjid Salman al-Faris. Very old masjid, very small. People go there. And also they go to Masjid Umar radiallahu anhu. They also go to Masjid Quba. They also go to Masjid Qiblatain. Yes, this is the place that we used to go, and Uhud, we used to go visit. Now, so you can do it one day, but Quba, if you're in Medina, especially if it's Saturday, happen to be Saturday, just take a taxi and go to Quba, take a taxi, come back. It's easy to go to Quba. Yeah, now. Bye. So now we go to the practical things that we need to know about the Hajj. Hajj has just like a prayer. It has pillars, it has obligations, it has sunnah. So these are the things that will, fix your Hajj, or sometimes ruin person's Hajj, or need some, things that you have to use to repair your Hajj. So you see rukun, you see wajib, you see sunnah. What is rukun? Rukun is a pillar. Wajib is obligatory. Sunnah, and the way they are will exactly tell you exactly what they represent. So rukun, pillar. So if not done, the Hajj is invalid. Like if you compare with Salah, if a person is praying and they don't recite Fatiha in the Raka'ah, the Salah is invalid. So rukun in the Hajj, if a person doesn't do it, the Hajj is not valid, and there's no way to fix it. There's no way to fix it. So the Salah is not valid, it has to be done. So the Hajj also has to be. So just like being at Arafah on the 9th of the Hajj, it's a rukun. If a person is not, that's why they said the only rukun, they have to have two rukun, and we're gonna talk about that also. But the strongest rukun in Hajj is Arafah. It's just like the strongest rukun in the Salah is Takbiratul Ihram, the first Takbiratul Ihram. If you don't do it, you're doing nothing. So Arafah also, if you don't stand in Arafah, you don't have a Hajj. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, Al-Hajju Arafah. Hajj is Arafah. That means if you don't have Arafah, you don't have. So that's a pillar. Now, and then you have wajib, obligatory. Can be done. If a person doesn't do it, it can be made up. Somebody can make it up. So, but you see the difference between the rukun is stronger than the wajib. So the wajib, if you don't do it, if you miss it, then you can fix it. It's just like in the Salah, if you mix certain things, you can make a sujood. So this one is not a sujood, but it's called fidya. Fidya is the animal that you slaughter when you violate I would call it a rule, a wajib in the Salah. For example, it's a wajib for a person when they're in a stage of ihram not to cover their head, for men, but to cover their hair. It's a wajib. If you cover your hair, then you have to fix that by slaughtering a fidya, by slaughtering an animal. Like for example, you cannot shave your hair. You cannot put a perfume on yourself, All those things, if you do them, you can clip your nails. And we'll talk about that also. It will come. But if anything that you do that is against the wajib, or you didn't bring it, you were supposed to bring, like for example, wearing the ihram in the miqat. If you pass the miqat, you didn't do it, you are violating an obligation. Then you have to do that. You have to do the fidya.
I have a question.
Nah.
What will be the fidya for that?
That's okay. The fidya is, and it will come, but fidya is an animal, goat or lamb, that you will slaughter and give it to the people of Medina, needy people of Medina. And now they make it so easy that you just have to go to the bank, Rajihi. They have booths everywhere in the Mecca, and even in the clock tower, wherever, most of the hotels, they have a place that you go and tell them, hey, I need fidya. So you need to know. So there's a hadi and there's a fidya. Hadi is the animal that you will slaughter for the Hajj. And fidya is the one that you slaughter because you violated a rule. So you always have to maybe memorize both. If you need it, they just go and say, I need fidya. So I tell you how much, you give them money, give a ticket. That means that they will do it.
So Raji Exchange, the bank, I know where it is.
Yeah.
The clock tower.
Yes. Yeah. They have a lot of Rajihis now around. And Rajihi is the one who takes care of this. So they will just give a ticket, and that's it, you're done. Because if you pay them when they give you a ticket, that means that they will communicate to their slaughterhouse, and they will slaughter there, and they will just make the distribution. So that's the condition. Because if anyone wants to go and slaughter, Makkah will be all blocked. So that's the reason why they have that facilitated. So you just have to buy it, and they have their people, and it's done. You don't have to worry about it. We used to work in the slaughterhouse, just phone calls, and then we have this person, they have a hadi or they have fidya, they just slaughter it and do everything and give it to people of Medina. The poor people, and they're standing there, they take it, or if they're done, then they send it, they pull it and send it over, overseas for Dula.
Another question. So the ihram, if we are going from, we have a layover somewhere, and then we wear the ihram before the miqat.
Yes.
So are we going to proclaim the niyyah when we are wearing the ihram, or when the miqat will be there?
Yes. So actually that will come, but to answer your question, if you're passing the miqat by land or by air, you can wear ihram before, but you cannot announce your ihram. You cannot do the intention till you reach the miqat.
And the airline will announce.
Yes, they will announce, they will tell you, okay, we're about to enter the miqat. You're about to enter the miqat, and they will tell you exactly, we're in the miqat, and it will take, like, for example, 15, 20 to 30 minutes within the miqat. Then everybody will make their intention and be in a stage of Umrah or Hajj. Or instead of Umrah or Hajj, if they are performing different Hajj.
Is there any specific words we are saying?
Yes, we'll do that. Actually, we'll cover that inshallah ta'ala, and then that's very important because it's part of the ihram. Now, so then we get the wajib. There's a fidya. So try to get that word so you don't mix it with hadi. So the hadi and fidya, and we'll have the hadi also to come. So sunnah. So then wajib are the things that you must do, but if you miss them, you can fix them, such as things that we just said right now. Sunnah is something that if you do it, it's okay. But if you miss it, you don't have to do anything. Like just like Mabit, going to Mina on the 8th of the Hijjah. Somebody may land in Jeddah on the 9th of the Hijjah, and they go straight to Arafah. So they will miss the slipping in. They will miss Mina on the 8th, but it's Sunnah. That is Sunnah. So they still have the Hajj.
But they missed the Umrah when they came to.
Yes, so they will come to Makkah. They do Tawaf al-Ifadah is a rukun.
Oh, so they have to do it.
Yes,
before they get to.
they come to Makkah and do Tawaf al-Ifadah, and we talk about that, and then they go to Arafah straight. So here they didn't have the Mabit in Mina. The didn't have it, so they still have their Hajj, and they don't have to do anything because of they don't have to do it. But it should not be intentional. If a person, these are very critical, because if a person does it intentionally, they are missing a great reward. And so the ulama, they strictly say that person should do a fidya, but they should not, inshallah ta'ala. Now, So now you have fidya. Fidya. So is a mandatory sacrificing that the person will do, and we talk about it if they do something that was supposed not to be done, or they miss something was supposed to be done. Now, so that is if wajib is missed. So somebody will sacrifice. I talked about their the way of sacrificing. If they don't have anything to sacrifice, then they fast. And this is the same as if a person also did tamattu, but they do not have anything to buy the lamb to sacrifice on the 8th day, then they also do the same thing, right? The same thing. So fast 3 days, and when they fast 3 days, if you don't have the hajj. But the hadi and the fidya here is different. So if a person doesn't have, you run out of money, you have to fast 3 days, to fix the fidya that you were supposed to sacrifice when you go home. But if you are in the hajj and you don't have the sacrifice for the hadi that we talked about, you fast 3 days in the hajj and 7 days when you go home. So that's the difference here. Or you feed 6 needy people. But this has to be in order. It's not optional. You have to sacrifice. If you can't, then you move to fasting 3 days. If you can fast 3 days, then you feed six miskin. And feeding always is the same.
So we cannot choose like, oh, let's just
No,
feed 6 people.
No, it starts with their, if you cannot, then you give it up second option. So it's not like open options. It's like one, you have to do this one. If you cannot, then you move to second one. If you can, then you move to the last one.
And we can fast when we get back home.
Yes, 3 days you fast when you get home. Yes,
And
but
what
it's
was the
preferred.
7 days you said? About 7 fasts?
No, yeah, that one is if a person like in tamattu, you have to sacrifice on the 8th day. That is part of the hajj. Like if a person is doing tamattu, it's part of, I don't know if you package, they call it qurbani, right? They put it, it's part of it.
It's in there.
Yeah,
it is in there.
Mine says,
Yeah, yeah. So if you paid, if they say,
Mine says you have to pay separately.
oh, you have to pay separately. Then when you go to those booths, tell them I need a qurban, I need not fidya, hadi. I need a hadi. Yes. So if you pay for the hadi, then they will do for hadi for you. And that happens, and that's very important because we're going to talk about that, because that has to happen on the 10th of the hijjah, on the 8th day. And that has to happen before you shave your hair. So you always, there's a reason why I don't like these mixed things, because it's hard for you to communicate with the person who's doing your hadi, and you have to have a confirmation that your animal is being slaughtered in order for you to shave. So if you don't have that communication, it's hard. So you're gonna be waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah, they say this year because of the COVID, they are not going to allow me there.
Yeah, even back in the days, like these few years, people don't go.
I thought the text will come to you.
Yes.
That your slaughter has been
Yes,
completed.
yes, but I don't trust that
Oh.
because I know that they will say that easily, but it takes us forever just to have that confirmation. Like not you, but the munadhim, the person who's taking the people, it takes you forever just to take that.
So it could
But
be
no,
second day or it could be third day.
no, it should be the same. It should be, because it should be the same day you throw your jamarat, your text. They want to try, but it's not working. So, how it should be when you come from Muzdalifah, you do your jamarat. When you do your jamarat, you have a confirmation your animals have been slaughtered. Then you shave. Then you go do your tawaf hajj, right? But now who knows who's here and who should be sacrificed? And it's very complicated. So it takes a lot of hustle. So if I don't know this year, maybe they have if this app is not working, it's practical. They will say to you, but when you go in, when you go, what they talk about the app, they say, oh, it's easy, right? Everything is easy, but it's not. it makes some people very frustrated, right?
Yeah.
So you expect everything, but just be patient. Be patient. So when you go, make sure that at least the person who is running things, make sure that you have a way of communicating with them before you do your shaving. You have your hadi to be slaughtered. I don't know how they're going to do that, but just put that in mind. Yes. Now, ihram. So now we're going to talk about the ihram, and that was the question that we was raised earlier. So there's two parts of ihram. One is the physical like clothes that person is gonna put on, and also the intention that the person is gonna do. The third part is the location. Is there location? The location is called miqat. So miqat is one of the entry points that no one should pass till they put themselves in a stage of ihram. Like for example, somebody have a wudu, walk into the masjid, they still like have the intention to perform dhuhr, but they're not restricted. You can talk to the brother, you can hug the brother, you can talk, you can do it. But as soon as you say Allahu Akbar, you cannot. So that's the miqat. So the person you are going from here, now you are Hajj. You're going till you reach the place, either by air or by land. When you reach there, then this is where you enter the stage of ihram. The stage of ihram, in a better explanation, is to enter in a restricted moment that you cannot do certain things. Just like when you say Allahu Akbar, you're still alive, but you cannot shake hands with the brother. You cannot talk to the person. So till you finish that. So in ihram also, you enter ihram, you cannot do these things till you say Assalamu alaikum. Till you finish your ihram. Right? I'm going to talk about it. So, but I want to give you the concept. So the ihram for men, you have the clothes that were just two wraps, like one here and one there. And we're going to see the example. And I will explain also, but women, they can use anything for ihram, except they cannot have niqab for the ihram. Now, so that is ihram. And ihram is connected to the miqat, to the miqat. And we're going to talk about the miqat. Each direction has a miqat for the people who are from that location, or people who will come in the direction of that location. Now, you can go now. So this is the ihram for men. You will find a lot of mistakes in the ihram, because if a person is praying, they should cover their shoulder. But you will find people praying uncovering. Most of the Hajj, they will uncover their. And you tell them, they'll say, no, I have to uncover it. No, yes, you have to uncover it when for Tawaf. Only for Tawaf. If you finish the Tawaf, you cover and you pray. But you will see people from Medina to Mecca to Jeddah to Mina everywhere, because they think that that's how the haram should be. No, it's only when you're doing the Tawaf. You uncover it, you finish your Tawaf, you praying, you cover. Even if you are doing Tawaf, the adhan comes and you're praying, even if you're second Tawaf or third Tawaf, you have to cover it. When you finish, then you can uncover till you finish Tawaf, then you cover it again. So that's the reason we said you don't learn things from the people there. So you learn things here, and when you see it, they will tell you, or somebody will come and tell you while you're having it on, they'll tell you, no, you have to take this off. No, I don't have to. No, you have to. It's not good. No, I don't have to. But so I know that they don't know, but they think that that's how it is, because it's very common. Now, so these are the miqat. Briefly, these are the miqat. These are the stations that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put to make sure that Mecca is protected spiritually. So no one will go into that circle till you are spiritually prepared and enter the stage of ihram if we intend to perform Hajj or Umrah. Yes. So you have the Hulayfa is the farthest miqat, and is the miqat of Medina. Yes, that's the Hulayfa. Most of you are going to go to Jeddah this year, right? Yeah. So
I'm actually going to Medina first.
Medina
so
first.
I have this question.
Yes.
So when going from Medina to Makkah.
Yes. So I will explain that then, because that's my favorite miqat. All miqat that is, but that's my favorite miqat. And not just because the Prophet ﷺ went through that miqat. No, because when you fly from here, go to Medina, you don't have to do your ihram in the airplane, right? So you land in Medina. Medina is outside the miqat. You do your things in Medina. Now you are traveling by land to Mecca. So you pass by this place called Dhul Hulayfa, and now they call Abar Ali. You stop. The bus will stop there. So it gives you the opportunity to do the rituals of the ihram. But if you are coming from, let's say, Jeddah, you know, Jeddah is not in the miqat. It's not in there. It's outside.
I used to take my ihram on when I was leaving my house from Jeddah, so. Right.
That you see this line, this dot should be here. Jeddah is not in the miqat. Jeddah is outside. Yes. So then you have, you see, Rabigh, which is Al-Juhfa, people of Sham, right? People of Sham, they come Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. They come from the area, and you see the miqat is there. I don't know why they put that inside. Should not. Yeah, you have Yemen. Yemen is here, right? Brother from Yemen.
So Jeddah is not inside.
Jeddah is inside.
Jeddah is inside.
Jeddah is inside.
Inside.
That's what I meant. Yes, they are right now.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
I'm trying to flip it. So Jeddah
It
is
needs to be
inside.
outside.
Huh?
You were saying that it should be outside for it to be.
To be miqat. So
Yeah.
Jeddah is within the miqat. So that means that before you enter Jeddah, you're already within the miqat. So people are gonna traveling from the Red Sea, right? Coming from America, right? Going to Jeddah. So when you reach here, this miqat will be considered miqat of Jeddah. So when you reach here, they will tell you exactly to do the ihram before you reach to Jeddah, because Jeddah is inside. So they will tell you, it will take, they will give you about like 20 to 30 minutes for the ihram. Yes, it depends on the speed of but you'll have enough time, because they will keep repeating, they will keep telling you, we're approaching the miqat. I don't know I don't know which airline you guys are taking, but the ones that I used to take, they will tell you, we're approaching in 10 minutes, in 15 minutes. Now we're in the miqat, and everybody should, have the intention.
How long are you gonna be in the miqat?
Like, yeah, they will tell you like at least 20 to 30 minutes.
I mean, like,
Before you
what is your aim? Like what is this?
That's what I'm saying. So it will tell you, now we're in the miqat.
Mm,
Now we're in the miqat. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So now we're in the miqat.
mm.
Yes.
So Sheikh, when you do the Dhul Hulayfa or Masjid Aisha, you do 2 rak'ah after that. So in Jeddah, if I'm passing over the miqat, I'm already have to.
Yes.
Only doing the niyyah, no namaz.
Yes. So I will explain that. I'll explain that. So now we have Yemen, Yalamlam. You see the miqat. You have Qarn Manazil. Qarn Manazil is from Riyadh, and Qarn Manazil, this is Taif. Qarn Manazil is in Taif. Then you have Dhatul Irq is when you come from Iraq. So these are the miqat. Now, what a person should do in this miqat, by air or by what a person should do. Those 2 rak'at, they have nothing to do with the ihram. The 2 rak'at, if you don't do them, you're good. It's not even connected to the ihram. But it's because the Prophet ﷺ, he spent, when he left Medina, he spent the night in the miqat. He spent the night in this miqat. When he woke up, he took a shower and he prayed. He prayed sunnah. So if we have a wudu, there's a sunnah of the wudu. If we enter a masjid, there's sunnah entering a masjid. That one you can do. But it's nothing called 2 rak'ah of ihram. So you don't feel bad when you're on the air, you cannot pray, then I missed the 2 rak'ah. No. People think that it's part of the ihram, but it's not part of the ihram. It's a part of that. So if you go to Medina, if you go to Dhul Hulayfa and your bus giving you just 2 minutes, you don't have to. Some bus, they'll just tell you, if you delay, I'm gonna go. Yes, we have it a lot.
Patience.
Patience, just be patient, you know.
Let's go.
Yes. So
My question was that people used to say that if you go to Masjid Aisha, you can just make a niyyah over there, do 2 rakah, then come back again to Makkah and do the Umrah,
yes.
second Umrah. So is that right or legit?
So I will explain that. So that is so yes. That is because Aisha did it, but there was a reason for it.
Yeah.
So right now, let's say when you go to this miqat, what you should do, and we're going to go to Masjid Aisha or Tan'im, right? So we're going to go to that. So now, when you're from Medina, you stop in the Hulayfa, you take a shower, whatever. There's showers everywhere. Take a shower, do whatever you want to do, pray 2 rak'ah. But the most important thing is this is where you have to enter the stage of ihram. That's the most important thing. How a person will enter stage of ihram is just like how the person enters the stage of salah. You go to your right, the sunnah. The sunnah of the salah is to come and stand straight and raise your hands. Raising your hands is not a farad, this is a sunnah. If a person stands and say Allah Akbar, this salah is valid, right? But the sunnah is to be on your right. But it's good to say Allah Akbar, raise your hands, right? The sunnah of the ihram is to be on your right. If it is a camel, which is not, sit on your seat in the airplane or in the bus. Sit first, and then after you have all this physical preparation, you know, combing your hair, having a lotion, you know, and having a perfume on your body before the haram and all those things, then you enter. Because I think it's very important for a person to physically prepare themselves, because you're going to be in this ihram, you're going to be sweating, you're going to be, a lot of things going to be happening. So you can do all those things, but make sure that nothing touches the ihram itself, but the body, the lotion, the oil, everything that is in the body, but not there. So then you stand there, you say, labbaika. And then that labbaika has to go towards what you're about to do. Labbaika umrah. It's very easy. You say labbaika umrah. Most likely all of you are going to perform tamattu, right? So you say labbaika umrah because you're not performing hajj, you're performing umrah. So you say labbaika umrah. Don't listen to anybody. You say labbaika umrah. So 3 things you do. You do the sunnah, which is the preparation. You sit, which is sunnah. Then you do the rukun, which is niyyah. This is where you renew your niyyah again. It's where the niyyah will specify what you're about to do, in what ihram you're going to enter, in which stage of ihram you're going to enter. You say it, you do that. I'm here, I have the intention to perform umrah. The second. The third one is to announce it, that's sunnah also, to say it out loud, to say labbaika umratan. If you perform the hajj, which is ifrad or qiran, you say labbaika hajjan. But here you say labbaika umrah. Then you are restricted. Then just like you said Allah Akbar, you are restricted. Then what can you do? When you say Allah Akbar in salah, you recite Fatiha, right? You have a surah, you make a ruku or sujood. So here you're restricted to focus on one thing, but you can stop it. But anything else you want to do or you want to perform as an ibadah, you should focus on that, which is Allah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So here when you start that, you just start saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. So I think everybody memorize that. Good. So then that's what you do. That's what you do till you reach Makkah, till you see the Kaaba, then you stop it. You can sleep, but don't talk. You can talk, but don't talk a lot. You know, because you talk a lot, then it's a problem. You know, you end up having a very nice conversation, and now that is taking you away from, you know, the best stage of ihram. So if you can do it, you do it. If you can't, just go to sleep. And most likely, people from Medina, when we do the ihram, you know, including myself, just give them like 15-20 minutes. And they will scream in the bus, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and then half will go to sleep. And then 2-3 will be saying, and they will say, brother, we are sleeping. You were supposed to be saying it. Now you're not saying it, you are sleeping, and now they want to use a dalil against you. Brother, we are sleeping, you're bothering us. You know, that's not Islam. Okay, Islam said we should be saying this. So it's very difficult, but just do it. If you know that if you say it out loud, you're strong enough to continue saying it. If you say it out loud, it's going to be you're going to be in trouble with the people. Say to yourself, to avoid problem, be patient. You have all the rights, but use it in the best way. So the Prophet, the Sahaba, they said, Ibn Umar, he said, from Dhul Hulayfa to Makkah is 400 kilometers. They said we didn't stop except when we were sleeping or we eating or we having our Nasat Hajat. We'll keep saying that. He said before we reach to Makkah, we lost our voices. We lost our voices. And I try to install the people in mind who are going for the Hajj. I try to tell them the Sahaba, the Hulayfa to Makkah is far. Some people are riding donkeys, some people are horse, some people camel, some people walking. But for you, I'm an AC bus, VIP, and then you don't even have 1 hour to say it. It's not a challenge. So somebody has to challenge themselves. So now that is when you're from Medina, even from Medina or from this common miqat. But if you're from on the air, you just sit there. Maybe you can have your ihram before, like even in New York or in Chicago, you have your ihram on. It's the best because the bathroom, anything can happen. So you have your ihram on. So when they announce it, you're sitting. Make sure you have a wudu. You know, when they do ihram, or even if you don't have a wudu, you still your ihram is okay. Yes, your ihram is still okay. Just sit there and say labbaika umrah. Now you are restricted. Now you keep saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata lak wal mulk la sharika lak. It's what you do till you reach to Makkah. And we're going to talk about that also. So when you reach to Makkah, the best thing is to try to go to your hotel, which that's what you need to do. Because if you just from Jeddah, if you land in Jeddah from Medina, you go, you have your luggage, and then you want to go Tawaf, you cannot. So you go to your hotel, which the Prophet when he went to Makkah, he didn't go direct to the Kaaba. He went to a residential area and he spent the night there. The next day he went and do his Umrah. But for you guys, just go and relax, then go do your Umrah. Go and relax and put your luggage and then go do the Umrah. Now, so now we have time. So now we have Hajj Tamattu. Hajj Tamattu, which is, you know, most likely all of you will perform. And, you know, I can tell a majority of the ulama, they said it's the best Hajj. Because the Prophet ﷺ, you see what he said, ﷺ, you know, actually in another hadith, he said, if I knew what I knew now, I will not bring my hadith, but I will do tamattu. So he commanded the Sahaba to do tamattu. Because there was no tamattu before that. There was tamattu before that. So in his time, tamattu came, and that makes it like the best. So this is having the Umrah and have a break between the Hajj and the Umrah. You're out of restriction. You know, you are not restricted anymore till the 8th of the Hajj. You go to Mina. Now you go ahead. So any question about tamattu?
So yeah, so basically, once we've done the Umrah on the day we arrived,
Yes.
we're gonna be out of there.
Yes. So let me explain that a little bit. So now tamattu, you are from the miqat, you are restricted, you're saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and you are performing Umrah. Only Umrah. Just now you reach to the Kaaba, you do 7 times Tawaf, you do Safa and Marwa, you shave, you're done. You take for ihram.
Now for at that point, you're taking a few years or waiting for the shave at the end of Hajj is better.
Yeah, cutting is best. And waiting for the Hajj to come to shave. That's the best. Yes. If you're performing only Umrah, let's say you go for Umrah, you shave. But if you're going for Hajj, you do tamattu, you cut. Yeah. But whole hair, like together. Like women are just like a little bit. Like they got a qadr ulmula, they just put all the hair together and you just cut this much for the sisters. But for men, you have to make sure everything is even. Now, like cut it. So then when you do just 3 things for the Umrah. Tawaf, and Tawaf is linked to 2 rak'ah. So Ihram is linked to 2 rak'ah. But Tawaf is linked to 2 rak'ah. Just like when somebody is praying, Salam is linked to the prayer. For you to exit the prayer, you have to say Assalamu alaikum. So for the persons, Tawaf to complete, not just the 7 rounds, but to pray also 2 rak'ah. After they finish 7 times, they pray 2 rak'ah. First rak'ah, Fatiha and Kafirun. and second rakah Fatiha and Ikhlas. Yes, that is
By
Assalamu
Maqam
alaikum.
Ibrahim or anywhere?
Anywhere,
Anywhere.
anywhere, because if we just limit in Maqam Ibrahim, it's not a problem. So anywhere in the Kaaba, in the Haram, you can pray 2 rak'ah, and don't pray where people are just crowded and then putting yourself in a risk. Pray anywhere. You know, he didn't say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. So he didn't say, pray behind the maqam. He said, pray by the maqam. And by the maqam can be everywhere in the haram.
There's so many. Muhammad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in the back.
You will, some people, they feel bad if they don't pray right next to the maqam, which is wrong. Because Allah will not tell us to do something that is, you know, we cannot practice. You know, and the Prophet ﷺ, he will say, this way I stand, this way I pray, and you can pray everywhere. This way I stand, but you can stand anywhere in the Hajj. So then this memorize, right? This is talbiyah. So you do the ihram, you continue doing talbiyah, you reach to the haram, you do the tawaf, and then when you finish the tawaf, when I say finish the tawaf, means that you pray 2 rak'ah. Then it's a sunnah to drink from Zamzam before you start your Safa and Marwa, and then you do Safa and Marwa. I will go in details of the tawaf and also the Safa and Marwa, but maybe we should go a little faster, inshallah.
We are on slide number 20 out of 56. 725.
Okay, let's go ahead.
We can finish tomorrow.
Yeah. So because the brothers, so sunnah of entering the ihram at the miqat. These are sunnah. You know, shower, trimming nails, and all those things. I would recommend do this before you reach there. Do all this before you shower. You can do shower there, but you know it's a practical to sit there and trim your nails, and then you know. So do this special. Yeah, they will live with the bus drivers. They have no sabr. So in the hotel, you have, mashallah, a few days to do that. Or if you are going from Jeddah, you have at your home, you have, you know, enough time to do it. So all you did when you don't have to take a shower, you take a shower. So these are sunnah. I mean, you know the concept of the sunnah, right? If you don't do it, no problems. So take a shower, to be honest, you know, apply perfume, you know, but not under, you know, clothes, but you know, to the.
Oh, you can apply perfume
Before. Yes, before. Yeah, before. So this is the entering the ihram.
So that the deodorant is not counted here.
You can put a deodorant before you. Yes, I'll recommend that. You put a deodorant while entering the ihram.
But with no perfume into it.
No, before before you
That's
enter.
okay.
Yeah, but if you do it while you're in ihram, then you have to do.
Before you do the
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So as soon as you say Allahu Akbar, which means you say Labbaik Umrah, you touch it, then you have to do fidya. Yes. Yeah, but before that, then you don't have you can do it. Even the spray you can do it, but before. Yeah. Yes. That's the reason why the spray, even before, you don't spray your ihram. But your body, yes. Yes, now. Yeah. So then you have the miqat. We talked about this briefly. Make the intention, you know, of your Hajj. Which Hajj? If you're performing the Umrah, the tamattu, you just say what we just said. You know, make the intention for Umrah, only Umrah. You know, and you see, if you miss the intention, now we'll know exactly. If you miss the intention till you pass the miqat, then you have to do the fidya. You have to do that. You have to do the fidya. Pray 2 rak'ah, sunnah. This is not part of the, like, pray 2 rak'ah specifically. It has to be either you enter the masjid. This is the miqat of al-Madinah. You enter the masjid, or you pray. You have a wudu, or you just want to pray another sunnah. If you do that, then it's okay to do the 2 rak'ah. But if you don't do 2 rak'ah, it has no impact into ihram. Now, okay. Now, if you enter the ihram, these are the things that you cannot do. If you do any of this, what do you do? Fidya. That's it. Any of this, you know, you cannot. Can you take a shower? Yes. Can you eat? Yes. Can you drink? Yes. You can do all this. all those things. But you cannot do things. Now, go ahead. And men, you cannot cover your hair. You cannot wear anything that is put here.
No sworn clothes.
Yeah, no sewn cloth. Yeah, and I I remember one of the brothers. I give this presentation here twice. We went to Medina. I did it in Medina, the presentation in Medina, and we went to Mina. And then he said, "Brother, I'm having my underwear on." What can I do with that? It's too much. So I said, "No, you cannot." I said, "No, I have to," because he heard people like talking about it. He came to me and said, "Yeah, I'm underwear." I said, "You cannot. We talked about this in Madis. We talked about this in Medina. You cannot." I said, "No, I don't think that you're referring to it." I said, "No, you cannot." I said, "Well, now what do you do?" I said, "You have to get rid of it, and then you have to do fidya."
What about mask with COVID and all that?
Mask, you can wear mask. You can wear mask. Yes, you can
It's
wear
like a
mask.
belt, right?
It's like a
We can
belt.
put the belt, so.
Yeah, you can have the belt that you can put your cash and all those things. You can put also the mask. You can put the mask now. Head, men only. All these things. You cannot be part of it. Now, so all these things you cannot. So you cannot hunt. What is the meaning of you cannot enter in a contract of marriage, of course. No, you cannot hunt. What hunting means here is even those small animals or anything that is hunted, you cannot hurt it, even scare it when you are in a stage of ihram. Now, and you can talk about like the animals that you can definitely take care of, because you don't want to get close to them, but you will not see them. Now, so now you have made the intention, and we talked about this, and you can keep going. So the dhikr, this is dhikr, that is talbiyah, and at this time you can recite the Quran, you can do a lot of things, but you cannot beat this, because this is the best time to do it, and it's the only time to do it. So if you don't do it at this time, then you are definitely not feeding talbiyah. Yes. Now the umrah. We explained the umrah. Wudu is required when you do the tawaf. A wudu is required when a person is doing tawaf. It's required. Like, for example, even if you are doing your tawaf, you lose your wudu, then your tawaf is gone. Just like when you're praying, you lose your wudu, your salah is gone. So wudu is a condition for the tawaf. Naam. So exposing your right shoulder also, that's also a sunnah to do the tawaf, and this is the tawaf al-qudum. So also doing the dua of the masjid when you enter the masjid also is part of the sunnah of
Are we supposed to read 2 rakahs when we enter to the masjid haram?
No, the haram, the tawaf is the 2 rakah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So tahiyat al-masjid is 2 rakah. Tahiyat al-haram is tawaf. Yes, that's a tawaf. Naam.
So if you lose your wudu after 2, then you just come back and you do all 7 again.
Go make your wudu and come back and do all 7 again. Yes. But if you are if you have 2 and then the salah was called and then you stop, you pray, just continue. Yeah, but if you lose your wudu, then you have to start all over. Nah. So these are things that you may be able to practice, but sometimes you cannot practice it. Nah. So this is called tiba', which is or ramal, which is for the first 3. You walk fast, or you run, jogging a little bit. That also is part of the sunnah. But if you don't do it, we know the concept of the sunnah, right? Okay, you can touch the Yamani corner, which you will not be able to have that. No, they say you cannot, because they barricaded their.
Yeah, so we look at the green light, that green
Yes.
light's still there?
Yes,
to start.
yes, exactly. But touching the Rukn al-Yamani, you cannot, but it's sunnah. If that was farud, then you get in trouble. but it's a sunnah. Yes, because now they don't let anyone to touch it. Nah.
I said, but do not signal. He said, no signal.
Huh?
You cannot signal to.
Yes, so I will explain that. So now, if you are beginning your tawaf, there is where to begin. The sunnah is to go and touch the Rukn al-Yamani and kiss the Hajj al-Aswad. The sunnah, as the Prophet ﷺ did. Then you will start, there's a green light that you will see. You start from there. And then you face the Kaaba, and your right shoulder will be, towards the Kaaba. Then you say Allah Akbar, but don't point to it. You raise your hand, say Bismillah, Allah Akbar. It's how you start your tawaf. So you come here, Bismillah, Allah Akbar, by doing this. Bismillah, Allah Akbar, looking at the, now you see the green light, you see the Kaaba, where you start, say Bismillah, Allah Akbar, and you go around. You go around till you come back here, your starting point, Bismillah, Allah Akbar again, second round, you come here again, Bismillah, Allah Akbar. So you don't point. Some people just say, keep doing all those things. It's not part of it. And then you will see that a lot. And then sometimes because you're so emotional, you just start doing it, and then that's wrong. Or you keep pointing it. And so Bismillah, Allah Akbar. So when you are doing the tawaf, it's part of the sunnah also. And then we can now. I think go back. Did I see Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first
first
one, to go back to the first one.
Yeah.
Three,
One more.
one more.
One more.
Go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So if you are going around the Kaaba, there is nothing that was narrated that the Prophet ﷺ did except saying Bismillah Allah Akbar in the beginning. And when he comes to the final round here, from the Rukn al-Yaman to the Hajar here, he will say Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana wa fil Akhirati Hasana wa qina adhaban nar. That was authentic narrated, that he didn't say anything from here to here except this dua.
So keep saying that.
Keep saying it. Yeah. Whenever first round, you can do whatever you want to say, but when you come here, from here to here, Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana. Again, here Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana. Again, Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana. So the second one.
That,
Rukn al-Yamani to.
oh, we're looking at
Yes.
Yemeni too. Okay.
Yes,
got it.
Hajar, yes. So that one, he just says Rabbana Atina. That's a sunnah. So, but from here to here, he left it open. You will see people having a small book, and then everybody will say, Ya Allah, and people will say after them,
Yeah.
don't do that. Just that's the reason why you have to have a pre-planned program for yourself. What do I want to make a dua when I'm going around? Just focus on one thing. If you just go, if you don't have any plan to make a dua when you go, you just want to start thinking, you're gonna get tired. Your mind is tired because you're thinking of what, oh, my mom, my dad, oh, my aunt, oh, my friend, oh, my daughter, oh, my son. No, put them in a list. Have a plan that you want to make sure that when I go, like for example, you have 7 rounds. Okay, say one round, example, maybe somebody have it. One round, I'm only gonna make a dua for my mom. One round, I'm gonna make a dua only for my dad, for example. And it takes you around. Hold on, I think if you just keep doing that, that's gonna be a lot of dua. Most likely it's gonna be accepted. But if you make a dua here, you think about, oh yeah, I did a good job, better job in my job, and make a dua. It's a lot. You can stay one place, but if you have that and you convince yourself, you have a plan, you will not, you go away from your plan. And you need hidayah, for example, tawfiq. Just make a dua for that. Ibn Baz rahimahullah, they used to say, we heard him making an umrah. All his tawaf, other than here, he used to say, Allahumma hadi qalbi. Oh Allah, guide my heart. Allah, guide my heart. Allah, guide my heart. That's all he says, guide my heart. So you have to have something that is so important, like the most important thing to you in your life. Make sure you put them together and you prioritize them. You put that dua. So that's from here to here. This is Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana wa fil Akhirati Hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Now, you can go.
Is it okay to have like a list or a phone in your hand and then you read off of that?
Like reciting?
Yeah. I mean, no, like, list of duas or whatever.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You can do a list of dua. But the dua, I think a list of dua is not, you want a dua that is serving your purpose. That's the best way of making dua. You can go to a lot of du'as, but what do you need? Create a dua to ask of what you need. That's very important. Yes, you don't make a dua that you don't know. Like you struggle to read the dua, you may not know what the dua means. Don't do that. Make a dua that you know what the dua is saying, even if it's half in your language. Make sure you get that. You get that right. So before that,
Which
so this is Maqam Ibrahim. So that glass thing is Maqam Ibrahim. But imagine you do a tawaf in this crowded place. And all of us, like all 2-3 million people, they want to pray behind this. That's a problem.
And they go,
Behind this little thing. That's a problem. So actually, it's not a good idea for you to even to pray all in this place. And you will see people who will come and they say Allahu Akbar.
No.
And they will be moved around. They will move them around. And they will not say Assalamu alaikum, just keep praying. That's like being extreme. That's a lot. So just go back out anywhere in the haram. You can pray to rak'ah. Now, so that's Maqam Ibrahim. Now, and then after you finish the tawaf 7 times, it's a sunnah to go and drink zamzam. You know, on your way to the haram, on your way to the Safa and Marwa, there's a lot of like fountains that you can drink. You can put little, water on your head because the Prophet ﷺ did. So now that is how Safa is now. That's how Safa is. Before, this was not there. The glass was not there. You can climb on top of it, right? On top of and back in the days also all that, that dome was not there.
We were able to sit on the rock.
Yes. But people started climbing and falling. So they have to do something. And somebody will come down and say, why they hasad, why are they doing this to us? Why don't letting us to go to the mountain? So people don't get it. So you just, okay, now they did this. Why they did this? It's to better serve the people. But people will come there and they will complain. They will say, oh, they're hasad, they don't want us to go there. No. So now, how would you know that you're on top of the mountain? The tiles that they have between Safa and Marwa is all the same, except the one that are on top of the mountain, where the mountain started. So you will put you'll feel it. It has grips. Yes, when you touch that, you're on top of the mountain. So you have to go on top, all the way on top. So they made it level, and they keep the dimension of the mountain, and they put those, harsh like tiles. So when you step on it, you know that I'm on the mountain. So that's how you know you're on the mountain. So it made people, you have a lot of people, and you then have the chance to go there, you feel bad. No, you're on top of the mountain. So you just have to go back. So when you go here, when you go to the mountain, in the Kaaba, there's a place in the Kaaba that a dua is accepted there, but you won't have that, guys, because you cannot, they call it, what do they call it again? Multazam. Multazam, right?
Between the Hijaz and the door.
Yes, that's multazam. That's a dua is accepted there. Whatever we make a dua there, but people will give you 1 second to be there. They'll move you. I remember, the brothers from Pakistan, they go there, they just secure the place. No one else will come. They help one another. You stay there 2 minutes and then they push you. And people are very frustrated, but they just secure there.
So this is actually between the door and the stone, not,
between the door and the stone. So you'll have that place, they fold the cloth of the Kaaba. So what you do is, the sunnah is, the way of doing it is to hold to and then you against what the Prophet against your stomach towards the Kaaba, and you make a dua.
And then you,
Yes.
well, before the COVID time, you told me about that. And
Yes.
I had the opportunity to.
Yes, that's multazam.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And one lucky day out of the 4 day in Mecca, there were all women over there. So I think she got the opportunity too.
Yes.
There's only one day out of all the days that
Yep.
women were there and men wasn't there, because women never getting the chance to
Go there. Yep.
Yes. So it was amazing that it was all women. So That was the opportunity.
That's
I
good.
wanted to go.
That's good. That's a very good place.
But the best trick was that what I did for every Jama'ah,
Mhm.
that I follow the Imam's air conditioner and the mic those days. You know, Imam comes right over there.
Yep.
So I pay right behind him.
That's good.
The minute
He
he
says
says
salam alaikum,
salam and sunnah,
people run.
well, people running at Aswad.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
running over there.
You
I'm
want
coming
to
over
the
here.
Multazam, yes.
So it was a trick.
That's good. So then here, and we're going to end here, inshallah. So here, when you go, so that place is one, I'm going to go through the places that the dua accepted. So that is Multazam and Safa. So Safa, when you reach to Safa, you stand in Safa, the Kaaba is in front of you. So you try to see the Kaaba. So when you do that, you recite this ayah. Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillah. And you can recite the whole ayah, but it's enough to recite this. And you say, Abda'u bima bada'a bihi Allah, or bima bada'a Allahu bihi. And you don't have to say it in Arabic. It means I began where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala began. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the beginning, he said, Inna Safa. He didn't say Inna Marwa wa Safa. He said, Inna Safa wal Marwata. So the Prophet said, I will begin where Allah began with this ayah. I will start running from Safa, then to Marwa. So you say that. Then while raising your hands, you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You say, Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah, and you say, La ilaha illallah. I think we have it. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. له الملك وله الحمد وعلى كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وهزم الأحزاب وحده. So this is what the Prophet ﷺ did. I think I have more. I think a little more. That's it. I go back. So now when you do that, you raise your hands. Here the Prophet wasn't seen raising his hands a lot. Wherever he raises his hands is a place that the dua is accepted. So this is a place that dua is accepted when you go back to there. So you make a dua here. Don't rush. People, because you're a little tired, but just try to make sure that you keep yourself a little bit and make a dua. After you do those, you make a dua, raising your hands facing the Kaaba. After you finish your dua, then you go towards Safa. When you reach Safa, you do the same thing that you did in Marwa. You face the Kaaba again, you make a dua. You go back and forth till you finish in Marwa. When you finish in Marwa, that's it. Your Umrah is done. It's just you have to say Assalamu alaikum to get out of the ihram, the stage. And that Assalamu alaikum is to cut your hair or to shave it.
And you can do it by yourself.
You can do it by yourself.
You say Asma.
Yes. I recommend to go to your room if you're close to do it there.
Yeah.
Back in the days, used to be a lot of people there,
Mhm.
but now it's very difficult.
Yeah.
They kick them, they take them out of there because of construction there. So it's a lot of hassle. So if you have anything that you can use to shave yourself or to cut yourself, you go to the hotel, do it yourself. It doesn't have to be look nice. It have to be you did it. And then that's it. Now you say Assalamu alaikum. You're out of the ihram. Make sure you take care of your ihram. Don't say, I'm doing the ihram, I'm going to throw it. You're going to need it.
Like
And the-
shower is a sunnah after that, or?
No. You shave, it's just like you say Assalamu alaikum. You want to say Baqarah Salah, you do. You want to go home, you go home. You're going to, that's it. There's nothing after that. Now you are in a stage of tamattu. Now you enjoy, you do your things, you're not restricted, you find nice qamis, you go back and forth to the Kaaba. And then make sure you keep your prayers in the Kaaba. So now the Umrah is over. Now you're waiting. I don't know what day you're going to be there. You're waiting till on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, which will be there the next one, inshallah ta'ala.
So, Chef, what do you think? What is the best thing to do in that time when you're waiting? Tawaf.
Yes, the best thing, you look at the crowd. At least if you promise yourself every day, because the crowd is very important. You don't want to be part of because every people are coming. If you know that if you do Tawaf, you're not hurting anyone or taking anybody's place or chance, promise yourself every day, even one Tawaf. Every day, one Tawaf.
So I don't take the opportunity like I did last time, that whenever we find time or low traffic, we went to Masjid Aisha.
Okay, now I'm going to come to that.
Oh,
So there's a big difference. So let me answer this question first. So the best thing to do in that period is to make sure that you don't miss any 5 daily prayers. And if I say that now, you're going to say, no, Aisha, that's too much to miss. I tell you, you may sleep in your hotel and Asr will come, Dhuhr will come, Isha will come, and you wake up, you say, oh, and then you're going to be, I have seen it, people who are very good, mashallah, but they're so tired, You wake them up and you come back from the salah, you see them still sleeping. So you need to strive. It's a time to strive. And if you are in the clock tower, the ACs are really good. So
The Adhan is
the
right in
heat-
there too.
yeah, the heat is great, on the roof, outside. So you come home, you just want to sleep. You just want to sleep. So make sure that you promise yourself at least you raise your bar a little bit. How many tawaf do you want to achieve, for example? And also, no, it's no. You cannot miss 5 daily prayer if you're close to the haram. If you're not close to the haram, you don't have to push yourself that hard. You can pray at any place that is close to your hotel. But if you can pray in the haram, that is very good. And try to increase as much as you can reciting the Quran and offering praise to the Prophet ﷺ. Offering praise to the Prophet ﷺ. I used to have a sister, Rubina. She used to go with me. She goes with me every Hajj. She's from St. Louis. She's a doctor. She will, whatever she comes to me, she will say, Sheikh, what do you want to do? I'll tell her, I will give her like a lot to do. She'll finish. I say, I need more. I will just tell her, do Salat al-Nabi 7,000 times. After Dhuhr, Asr, I need more. She is just on top of it. On top of it. Every day she wants to do something. So, that is the thing that I really like from the Hujjaj. You always raise your bar in terms of ibadah. Make sure you do Allah as much as you can. But you cannot have it both. You cannot have the dunya in the Hajj and the akhirah in the Hajj. So the dunya, you're here. So when you go for the Hajj, only focus on spiritual things. That will help you. That will help you. So now these are the stations of the Hajj. You have the miqat. You can be either land or by plane. You have the Masjid al-Haram. You have Mina. You have Muzdalifah. You have Arafah. So all these stations, you're going to be going there. So from the miqat, whatever miqat we came from, and that is where the camel is. This is where the majzara is, the maslah, which is what do they call it again? Slaughterhouse. They have 3 slaughterhouse, but the one that I know we used to work in is that one. So from Mecca, on the 8th, people live from Mecca. Every Hajj have to live from Mecca, go to Medina, go to Mina. Mina is tents. So when people reach to Mina, they spend morning of 8th, they leave Mecca, they go to Mina, they have to pray Mina, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. Dhuhr 2, Asr 2 on time, Dhuhr 2 on time, Asr 2, Maghrib 3, and Isha 4. People go to sleep. The best thing to do in Mina, after you finish your Isha, go to sleep. That is the best thing you do. Don't do anything. Just go to sleep, because you will need every energy going to Arafah. So in the morning of 9th, people leave Mina and go to Arafah. It's a little distance, you see. And these mountains make the people very uncomfortable. It's very, very, very hot. And sometimes rain, sometimes wind, sometimes it's like difficult. So from Arafah, people stay in Arafah all day in Arafah till sunset. And instead of going back to Mina, people spend night in Muzdalifah. So people spend night in Muzdalifah. In the morning of the 10th, which is the Eid, people go to Jamarat. And that is Jamarat is in Mina. So here where we will need to know, when you reach, there are 3 Jamarats. But on the 10th, people only stone 1 Jamarat, which is the big one. Yeah, the Kubra. So when you do that, so do the Jamarat, then you make sure that your animal is slaughtered. You shave, then you have Tahallul al-Sughra. Tahallul al-Sughra is you're half out of their ihram. What left is to go and do Tawaf al-Ifadah, which is difficult. Tawaf al-Ifadah, Tawaf al-Hajj. So if you can do all of them at the same day, you can take off your ihram. You can not just take off your ihram. You can, if you do 3, you can take off your ihram, but you're still restricted. But if you do all of them the same day, you are unrestricted anymore.
So until you do the tawaf,
You are still
you
restricted.
still have the restrictions of ihram.
Yes.
Even though the clothes you can.
Yes. You can take the clothes. If you do 3 out of 4, you can take ihram off. If you do Jamarat, which you will do first, you do the slaughtering, you shave, now you can take the ham off. Now you have one thing left, which is Tawaf al-Ifadah, Tawaf al-Hajj. So if you can do the same, like the Prophet, he did the same, all of it the same day. People wait till they go back to Makkah because sometimes it's difficult. But just hustle one day and then just do it and come back. It may take you hours, especially if you live in a clock tower. Just go. When you go and do Tawaf al-Ifadah in Makkah, what you will do is relax in your hotel because you have your keys. Relax into your hotel till sunset. You go back because you have to sleep in Mina. You go to Mina.
Everybody's coming back.
Oh, so so there are three. First one you do, you go back to clock tower, do the Tawaf, come back, then you do the second. Is it like a circuit or?
No, like on the 8th, you leave Makkah, right? You go to Mina, spend the 8th on Mina, night. So on the 9th, you go to Arafah.
Right.
So till sunset, you go to Muzdalifah. You spend the night in Muzdalifah. In the morning of 10th, just the Eid, you go and do Jamarat. One Jamarat, 7 stones. One Jamarat. There are 3 Jamarat, but on the 10th, only one. 11, 12, and 13, you do 3 of them. But now when you do one, you have to do 4 things to get out of the Ihram. 4 things. But if you do 3 out of 4, you can take off the Ihram, but you still have the restrictions. Yes. If you do the Jamarat, you slaughter, you shave, you should be good. If you can handle to go back to Makkah and do Tawaf, and do Sa'i, come back, that's it, you're out of the Haram, which is the best.
And you can do it anytime.
You can do it anytime. You can do it, yes, you can do it morning. Right after you finish the Jamarat, you slaughter, you shave, you can go direct to Makkah. You can wait, you can go back to Mina and wait till Fajr, any time that you think that, but the time that you're waiting, there are people who are waiting for that time. So there's a good time. So you just have to risk and go.
So you're saying that once I shaved, I basically go back to my hotel, relax?
Not hotel, Mina.
Mina. Oh,
Mina.
I'm coming back to Mina.
You are in Mina. You don't have to go to Makkah except if you want to do Tawaf.
Oh, so I can change right there?
You can change right in Mina.
Once I
because you
get
have to
the verification that
Yes.
slaughter is done?
Yes, you shave. So you did 3 things: you did Jamarat, slaughter, and then you shave. Now you can change. And it's if you have to change, you go back to Mina and change. That's it. You can wait till the night or tomorrow. If other, wait till you go back, which doesn't make me feel good.
So
Yeah.
You want to do it as.
Yeah, I want to do as soon as
So
possible.
the haircutting guys are there in Mina, or are they usually in by
No. That's another point. So when you are in Jamarat, the last Hajj that we did, there is no person who was doing haircut in Jamarat. It was banned. So people go to each tent.
Okay.
Everybody have them. You shave me, I shave you. Shave me, I shave you.
Oh, they were helping each other out.
Yes.
To use the trimmer to do.
Yes,
it.
there's
So,
no, there's no boots or sound. Yes, bring
I have my
clippers.
own clippers for safety.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it myself
do
or
it.
someone else.
Yes,
Yeah.
you two people, you do it, that's it. That's why on the tent, Mina, the tent is all hair everywhere.
Oh.
Yes,
So
everywhere.
is it okay? Because now we're making a mess of it there rather
Not
than.
a mess, but you spreading COVID-19. When I was a student, we used to be our main job.
Clean.
Yes, not to clean, but to shave.
You
Oh,
have
okay,
gone
okay.
through
So,
Umrah just
before-
2 days ago,
yeah.
so you will not have that many hair.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take care of the hair?
Oh, yeah, they have cleaners
The
everywhere.
cleaners are-
Every company they have to have somebody, like they have general cleaners from the government, and they have the company themselves, they have to maintain the place, so it will be clean. So what we used to do, for example, we used to do sailing and all those in the Hajj time when we were students. Then on the tent is where we used to make a lot of money. On the tent we used to have over a lot of the shaving things, and then head was 20 riyal. Yes, and you don't waste your time there. You go. And then we used to have a student who used to, because I will not shave the beard. And the third world, the people who come from the Hajj, they love to shave their beard, even with their, they love that. So he will say, okay, if I have to have a sin, I have to have a big, I have to have money for it.
More money.
So he will say,
Interesting.
if I shave your hair, it's 20 real, but if I have to shave your beard, it's 50 real. He said, how? It's easier. No, he said, that's we shouldn't doing it. So if I have to do it, I have to make more money.
Awareness.
Yeah. So yeah, so then you do the Mina. So try your best, which will be very, very difficult, but just test yourself. If you can do Tawaf al-Ifadah. But the good thing, what I was mentioning about, if you're in a clock tower, if you're close to the Haram, your hotel is there, you'll be very exhausted from Mina after you do this, after you do Tawaf, the Jamarat, do the shaving, change. So between the North American tents are going to be here, right? So between here to here is far. Between here and is far. So if you go back here, it's going to be difficult for you to go back to Makkah. So you better continue to Ihram because you have clothes in your hotel. So when you go and do your Tawaf, you don't have to go back here right away. You go to your hotel, take a shower. Easier, more convenient, take a shower, change and relax. So you can sleep
So
a few
after
hours.
Jamarat, you start walking.
Yes,
You might get your message about slaughter
yes,
on the way.
yes,
Then
yes.
go to your hotel, shave your hair, change. and then
Yes,
go
yes,
to
yes.
Jamarat.
Actually, before you go to your hotel, most likely they're slaughtered for you, or you get a confirmation. So in this case, because from here to here is a distance. So if you go back and change here, it's not very far for that. Yeah, so both distances are very far from each other. So you rather just exhaust yourself one time. You go do your Tawaf, if I will do your Sa'i, then go to your hotel. And also taking a shower in your hotel is going to be easier, more convenient than taking a shower in the Mina.
Can you do Tawaf just in Ihram?
Yes. Yes, actually the Prophet did Tawaf in his Ihram. Yes. So just do Tawaf in your Ihram is best. So you don't have to, that's the reason why I said you don't
But
have
you
to.
have to shave your head first.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, I was thinking if I'm going to.
Actually, you don't have to shave your hair.
Oh, not yet. Okay, we can.
Oh,
You don't have
can do it
you can
later.
do switch. You can
Oh,
on that day, the Prophet, whatever he was asked, oh, I did this before, he said, no problem. Some people do this before. The only thing that they are restricted is Jamarat and slaughtering. That one should be
Jamarat first, slaughter.
slaughtering. But the rest, it can be either ways. Switch up. Yes.
Well, we still have stuff in Mina right now because we are coming back.
Yes.
we'll have to come back.
Yeah. So
We'll
now
stay there.
you have to come back night. So now the best way I will do it personally because I seen all of it. The easy one and the tough one. So you will do Jamarat. Because you are tired from Muzdalifah to Mina is tiring. You may have a bus, you may not have a bus. I work with my people. So you go to Jamarat, you do a Jamarat. Now, if they say they're going to send a confirmation, good. Keep walking to Makkah. So keep walking to Makkah. Before you reach to Makkah, you may have a confirmation.
Right.
2. You reach to Makkah, then have to shave. Go do your Tawaf. Finish your Tawaf, do your Sa'i. Go back to your hotel. And now you are sitting on your hotel and you're done. Shave, take a shower. Go to sleep. When you wake up, take your clothes, go back to Mina. That is,
Mina, what are you going to be doing?
you're going to stay in Mina in the 3 nights. Yeah, so Mina is just like enjoying and eating and drinking and praying.
It's only about a mile from Mina to the clock tower. Is that right? No?
So it's far.
Well, we're not using the trains anymore. I thought they would have the.
5
trains.
miles. 5 miles.
It's gonna feel like 20 miles. If it is 5.
It's gonna be so many people, the buses will be stuck jammed.
Yeah, and Makkah is just like,
Oh, hilly.
It's just like, if it is 2 miles, just consider like 4 miles. That's how that's why I tell people it's really it's hard to walk. So, but it is good.
The trains, they're saying that they would be. Experience that?
No, they won't be ready.
Don't try that.
They've been saying it a long time ago. It's not good. So don't rely on that.
Okay.
Yeah, the train is working from Medina to Makkah. From Mina to Arafah is VIP. You have to pay a lot of money. Yes, I was only one time, and you have to pay a lot of. The process is forever. Getting in, it's very. It took like 15 minutes to get to Arafah, but before you get, it takes forever to get into train. So you better take your bus and go. So all these train things, don't even think about it. It's
And
just
the
gonna-
walking, is it covered? The walkways are covered or it's?
The path, it's just like a.
from Mina to Makkah
it's a
So from
trail.
Mina to Arafah
No, no,
or
no,
Muzdalifah,
is
it's all open.
open, sun open.
They have like some mist that they put on though, right?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You have to have your umbrella. It's okay. You can have umbrella and everything.
Yes, you can have umbrella. Yes, yes, yes. They tried, but it's a lot to do. Like around the haram, they will have all those mist like blowing. But for me, I there are not great even like because I didn't see the difference.
Sunglasses are okay.
Yes, sunglasses are okay. Watch are okay. Yeah, but caps and women can wear, but umbrella is okay. Yeah. Drink a lot of water, umbrella. On this day, I would expose one person today. We did our Jamarat. We did our last Hajj. We did the Jamarat. We went to do our Tawaf. The same day. On our way back, somebody fainted here.
Oh.
Our principal. He fainted here. So he couldn't make it here. He couldn't make it here.
Oh no.
So I take him back to Makkah.
What you
I have
woke
taken-
him up and
Yes,
then
I
he was
had to
walk?
call. I called the ambulance. It took me like 2 hours for the ambulance,
Oh man.
and finally the ambulance said they cannot make it.
Mm.
They didn't come. So I had to be there, and then we took a taxi, and then I took him to Makkah. I left him in Makkah. Yeah.
Heat exhaustion.
Huh?
Heat exhaustion.
Yes, he was tired, and he was also he was sick. It was
Mm.
yeah, he was dehydrated, so it was a lot.
Drink water.
Then yeah, so and also Joko. Joko, right?
Yeah.
In Muzdalifah here, because we came from the train, because that Hajj we used the train. We come from I was before that one. From here, from Arafah, we went to Muzdalifah. So we get lost here. So if your guide is lost, of course you're gonna get lost. So we get lost here. So we couldn't get our spot in Muzdalifah. So we were walking around. Finally, we got it. We reached there, and then I want to pray, and I just heard people screaming, "Junior, she passed out." she was. So we had a doctor who was with us, and they took care of her.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes,
So the heat.
and those people are very healthy, young and healthy.
So it's actually a speech that we're listening when we're gonna be in the
Arafah. Yes, but most likely you're gonna have your own khutbah in your own tent because you are far. Because they're go. I think I will
So
see
there
them.
will be
I will see them
tents
in Arafah. Yes, in Arafah we'll have tents.
So what we saw in the live TV broadcast that people sitting on the mountain.
So this is Mina.
Mhm.
So everybody's gonna have a tent. Like this tent, like each tent is gonna have like maybe some of them are smaller, 50 people. Some can take like 100, 200 people. It depends. So
I got lost there.
this is you cannot memorize this because you go there once a year and it's a lot. So you always have to look at the numbers. So this polls they have numbers.
Oh, okay.
So those numbers are very important. So North American, they're on the other side. Keep going. So that's the path going to Jamarat. From Arafah to Muzdalifah to Mina, they have big highways that takes you to Jamarat.
And
And
they
from
still
Jamarat,
have
you
it separated between the foot traffic versus the bus traffic.
The same. You see?
Oh, they're sharing this thing. But when we took the ziyarah.
No, now what they did is they stopped the buses from Jamarat. They said there's a station where the buses will stop, and then the rest people are gonna walk.
Okay.
Yeah. Move it. So this is Arafah. So in Arafah, I think we do have
Are
time.
we gonna continue?
Yeah, we just stopped.
We have like almost
Uh-huh.
20 slides, so.
Can we just go quick? So this is Mina and
We can
Arafah.
always- We can
Yeah, we can.
record it and
Yeah.
make sure he gets it on the,
Yes.
you know.
And any question when you go there, if you see something you don't understand, just you can
I sent
WhatsApp
you
me.
this deck, slide deck.
Yes, you can WhatsApp me anytime if you have a question or anything, inshallah.
Because if we continue tomorrow, then we record it, make sure he gets the video.
Yeah.
And
We start- we
tomorrow,
start-
what time?
Same time.
Same time.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
6, it would be 7 there.
Yeah.
I will be, because I'm staying overnight.
Oh, okay,
So-
In New York. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
should be able
try to
sign.
join, inshallah. And any question, yeah, you can. Yeah. Like I think the most important thing in the Hajj is just knowing why you are there. And don't depend on like at least you should have at least 60% of the knowledge, and the rest you can ask. But if you just go without having any prior knowledge, it's very disturbing sometimes, because you're gonna end up like relying on people that you may not trust their knowledge. Yes, that's one. And the second thing is just sabr, patience. Sabr is the most important thing. Yeah. So inshallah, Jazakumullah khair wa baraka feekum. We ask Allah to make it easy for you guys to go and perform your Hajj and come back safe. And we ask Allah to make your Hajj hajjan mabruran wa sa'yan mashkura wa mutaqabbala. Yes, it's opportunity. Like it used to be easy, and now it's tough. People want to go, they cannot go. I want to go, I cannot go this year. I feel like I have never been for Hajj. So for you guys are very lucky. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah. Jazakumullah. Barakallah. feek.
And you were mentioning the relaxation in Medina. I want to add one more thing, that after Fajr, you have the opportunity to go into Makki.
Yes.
Men only. So that's another luxury. that
Yes,
you can
yes,
do.
yes.
Or you can able to attend some of the Tawaf too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the,
And the woman also, you will see a lot of oh, why women cannot do this? You don't have to argue. If they say you cannot do, just move on. It's good. I have that also. Some people they. What is it?
That's family in the Hajj.
All right, people on Zoom, we're gonna end the meeting.
This is Brother Faisal, right? Faisal as well.
It's, but the thing that he called me, so